Hey team, welcome back. We're heading back over on the international stage for this episode, and I have an absolute superstar and the most beautiful human today. She's represented the Australian Opals many times on the world stage. She's in the WNBA with the Seattle Storm. That was probably going to give it away, but she's earned a silver and a bronze with the Opals at the World Cup. She's a two-time Olympian, winning bronze at the Paris Olympic Games, and she has also won a gold medal with the Opals at the Commonwealth Games. So it is my very absolute pleasure to introduce my amazing guest, Ezi Magbegor. So Ezi, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me back. It's nice to see you.
I know, it's been so long.
I
You
know.
guys are always away, but it's so great when we get to catch up and chat. And I appreciate the time because your WNBA schedule is hectic. We spoke to Lan last week, and what you guys are doing is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, the schedule, honestly, this year the schedule's been really crazy. I think we literally are playing every other day. Obviously with the addition of another team, just more games, which is good. But yeah, the schedule gets pretty crazy. But I'll make time for you, so it's nice to speak to you.
Oh, stop it. But I want to go back a little bit and take a little recap on your European season. So you took out the Czech Championship in three games, clean sweep with your team Prague, and you were also EuroLeague champions, and your own personal consistent performances led you to receiving the honours of the All EuroLeague first team and the All EuroLeague Final Four All-Star team. So what was it like to win not only one, but two championships in like one season?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. I think obviously with Czech League, I think we were um the favorites to win, but I think obviously Brno, they were the team that we played in the finals. I think our game two playing away against them is always pretty tough. So it was a close game. I think it was within like 4 points in the last couple of minutes, but it was just nice to obviously win the Czech League. But EuroLeague obviously is a pretty big achievement, and so just to be able to do it with the team that we had, it wasn't the smoothest of seasons, and so there were times where we didn't even think we were going to make it into the final six. And so just to be able to be there, kind of with the pathway that we took, playing Skier, then playing Fenner in the semis, and then um, winning against Mersin was pretty special. So yeah, it was a pretty successful EuroLeague season.
And I think for some people who don't watch EuroLeague or know a lot about it is such a great league. Like a lot of the WNBA players go back because the money financially is, well, it's so great over there. So you're beating these teams week in, week out. You're playing multiple games a week. It's exhausting. What was it like when you won that and then you went back home and shared that with your fans in the club? Because obviously Europeans, they celebrate hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had a few of our fans come to Zaragoza, which was really special. I think, like you said, in Europe, the fans really get around the team, and so we definitely celebrated that night in Zaragoza. And then back in Prague, it honestly wasn't as crazy as I kind of expected it to be. I feel like playing in
Yeah.
the Czech Republic, the Czechs are a bit more um, calm when it comes to basketball games compared to, I guess, like, the Spanish teams, the Hungarian teams. So we kind of got back and still had to finish our Czech League season the week after. And so the celebrations were kind of short-lived. We got back, we did like a radio interview. Um, but yeah, it was kind of like to reach that high and then to come down and realize we still had another final series to play was kind of crazy. But we definitely celebrated with our fans in Zaragoza, which was really nice.
And that just wouldn't happen often where you win a championship and you want to celebrate because it's massive. And then you're like, oh no, guys, we have to be home by like 2 a.m. curfew because like we need to go to practice in 2 days and win another one. But you obviously won those personal awards. I guess, what do those accolades mean to you? Does that just really build you with confidence knowing like all your hard work is paying off? you're training, you're playing every day, and you leave your family, you make a lot of sacrifices. Like, what does that mean to you?
Um, I never like really try to focus on the individual awards. It is nice, I guess, to receive them, but I think like obviously basketball's a team sport and you wouldn't be there without the team. And so aside from all the individual awards, I think just being able to win EuroLeague, with the team and in the way that we did was a lot more meaningful than the individual awards. I think whenever I can contribute and whenever I can help, and if that's playing well for the team, offensively or defensively, then I think I pride myself on that. But it's just, it's contribution, and I think it could have gone to anyone. So I'm just happy that we won.
Exactly. And I think this is what makes you like the
Yeah.
most beautiful human being. You're so genuine, down to earth, so humble. And this is why people want you on your team, because you just do whatever it takes for the team. And yeah, you do. You hold yourself with so much pride, and you're a great person to have around. So you should be so proud of everything that you accomplished, obviously in your whole career, but especially in that last European season.
Thanks, Bec. Thank you.
So, for your fans and Australians back home, will we see you returning to Europe after the WNBA season, or is that something that you'll focus later down the track?
Um, I definitely will be in Australia post WNBA season. I think just taking a little bit of a break after the season. I think I did that a little bit towards the end of last year, and just to be able to be back in Australia, with my family, with my friends, and catch a few of the WNBL games, um,
Yeah.
was really special because obviously, just being there and playing in front of Australian fans is something completely different. But yeah, I'll definitely be around in Australia. Still figuring out what I'll do, but I'll definitely be there for a little bit of a break.
Oh, it's amazing. And I don't think a lot of people understand you're away almost like 10, 11 months of the year. And when you come home and you're a big family girl, you need that time to recharge, not only be in your own country, but be with your people and your safe space and your circle. And what does your family mean to you?
They mean a lot to me. I think I'm pretty close with my family. They try to make it out when they can. So my sister came to visit me in Prague this year, and my parents have been to Europe
Amazing.
as well. Um, but yeah, I think it's just special, like with anything and with any like championship individual achievement. I think it's nice to be able to celebrate that with my family as well. So definitely like a recent highlight was obviously the Olympics, and just to be able to have my family there. Um, and to see them to celebrate with them courtside, sorry, after the bronze medal game. Shout out to Curtis Evans from Nike. He organized some tickets for my family, so they were able to sit courtside and just to be able to experience and share that moment with them was special. So yeah, they mean a lot to me. They ride the waves, the highs and the lows. They're proud of me regardless. So yeah, they're pretty cool people.
Oh, that's amazing. And that would have been a once in a lifetime opportunity. And our parents, geez, they make sacrifices for us to get where they are. So it's so beautiful. They were just able to embrace you and, be a part of that journey with you. And now I sort of want to move a little bit into the WNBA now. So for people who don't have the time to watch all the WNBA games, can you give us a bit of the day in the life? How often are you playing? Whether it be regular season games, and also you had the Commissioner Cup games as well.
Yeah. So I guess like in a regular week, I'll kind of talk about that. The Commissioner Cup games, so there's actually no additional games aside from the final, which was on tonight. And Lan was playing in that. They lost, unfortunately, to Indiana. Or fortunately, I don't mind, but they lost. Unfortunately for Lan. Um, but I guess I'll take you through like this week. So we are about to go on a 9-day road trip, which is crazy. But we go to Atlanta, New York, and Connecticut. So we'll practice in the morning tomorrow and then head to Atlanta. And thank God for charter flights, so we don't have to go through that whole like airport process. You can just like hop on the bus, get on the plane. So yeah, we'll play 3 games on the East Coast, and practices are quite limited during the season, just because we're playing so much. So, um, if we have like 2 or 3 days off in between, we'll have a practice. Like today, we practiced for like an hour and a half, and we were able to get up and down a little bit, and that's just because we haven't played in a couple of days, or we won't have a game for a couple of days. But literally, back when I tell you we're playing every other day, like you wake up and it's like, oh, another game, oh, another game. So I'm really grateful, obviously, just to, have the luxury of playing in the WNBA and playing so many games, but it does, get quite tiring even 6 years in. It's still an adjustment. But yeah, we play a lot of games.
Well, there you go, guys. For people who want to know what it's like as a pro, there is a day in the life. And even for me, watching as a fan, and especially the Aussies, you guys always my go-to, and it's watching what games there are. It's like I miss 2 weeks or a week, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
to narrow down what game it is because I'm like, it's almost like a
Yeah.
watching is a full-time job too. So I can't even imagine the
I know.
flying and the plane and the training and all of that. But you're back with the Seattle Storm for your fifth season. What do you just love about the Storm and the culture that you guys have really created together?
Um, yeah, I can't believe it's my 6th season this year. My first season was bubble year, so 2020, when we played in Florida in a bubble, which was kind of like
Nuts.
a crazy experience, but also a great experience for me just because I was like thrown into it all at once and just like surrounded by my teammates all the time. So I say that I'm grateful for that experience, but I think just the culture that we've kind of tried to build here in Seattle is um, just recruiting and being around good people. And I think that starts from the coaching staff, starts from the organization. And so I've been so lucky to play with the players that I've played with throughout the years. And I think just everyone, obviously wants the best for each other, plays hard for each other. And then we just kind of get along off the court as well. I think this year has been just great, just with a lot of new players. And so just being able to get to know them on the court, off the court. But yeah, like I said, I've been really lucky to play with some great players. So yeah, the culture here is really great. But it's not something that's come easy. We definitely have worked for it.
Mm. And we've all been a part of, different cultures, different teams. And I think you feel it more when you know that you've had to work for it. And it finally, I don't know, it's like a bit of a weight off your shoulders when you finally do get to that place, and then you can enjoy because there is trust and you've really built that. And you guys are currently sitting third in the Western Conference and fifth overall. How do you think your team is going so far, even though of course it's still early goings right now, but it's some great basketball.
It is, yeah. I think obviously it takes time to build chemistry with a newish team. I think we definitely started to build that during training camp and even throughout the start of the season. So it's been like up and down. Obviously, we've had some great wins, some tough losses. We had a pretty tough loss last game. But I think that's, the type of league that the WNBA is. You just can't really dwell on the previous games, and so yeah, we had a tough loss, but we have like a really important road trip coming up. So just being able to focus on that, kind of take one game at a time, and know that every team in this league can compete. So we don't take games for granted. We show up every game, and I think our chemistry and just how close we are as a team is what's going to get us across the line this season. And I think that's what championship teams are made of for sure, because, with 44 games in a season, it gets tough. And so if you can all just kind of stay connected through the wins, through the losses, because they're going to happen, but just being able to stay um, kind of steady and not never get too high, never get too low.
And like I said, I've been watching most of your games, as many as I possibly can be. And when you guys are playing well, it's so beautiful to watch. It's I want to say it's like silky smooth at times, and it's also really entertaining basketball. And at times I'm like, you guys are literally unstoppable at both ends. I think that's what I really like about you guys is great offensive threats, but you have people who have heart and want to defend too. It's at both ends. And I guess what does your team stand for? What are some of the things that, when you go play Aces or Fever, you're like, this is what we want to be known for?
I think you kind of said it, like defense is really big for us. I think we have a lot of um like individual players that pride themselves on defense, and then I think that kind of just translates into the rest of the team. And so training camp, that was definitely a big focus for us. And sometimes offense just isn't going your way, but if you're able to just get stops, you know, kind of play in transition and create offense in that way, that's a way to get you out of that offensive funk at times. And so, um, yeah, I'd say defense is a big focus for us. Obviously, culture clips, and so we kind of have those, and it's where we kind of meet our values and standards. So if it's like a championship contest or an extra pass, a sacrificial cut, so like getting someone else open. I think just doing the little things and knowing, it's a team sport, and so just being able to create for other people, it's going to be up and down, and so just being able to kind of hold on to those when things aren't going your way, I think is important. But I'd say probably defense as number one.
Yeah. Oh, I love hearing that. It's so great to like just know a bit more behind each teams and how teams are
Yeah.
so different. But I love what you're saying with, the sacrificial card and the championship contest. I got a bit of shivers. I was like, damn, like that's a team you want to play
Yeah.
for. And you can tell your
Yeah.
team gets around when any of you do those things. And um
Mhm.
I guess in within the league, obviously there's so many talented teams, but what are a couple of teams that you think are your biggest competition?
Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of said like on any given night, any team can compete. Um, and I think that's like really exciting for this season, for the season ahead. But I think obviously Minnesota, and New York just being in the final series last season, so they were obviously a big focus coming into this season. We were able to, beat them once. We've only played New York once, but just be able to compete against them. So, um, I honestly think just any team. Teams are really strong. They've got great players. It's a really competitive league, and so just being able to match up to teams is going to be really key. But yeah, all teams are really competitive in this league.
And it's exciting to see you go into a game thinking, oh, yeah, this team is probably going to smash this team by 20 points. And then it's a
Yeah,
reverse
yeah,
effect. And I think as a fan, it's so exciting, but also it shows just like the level of basketball has really grown. Yes, in America, but throughout the world. Like you played the Valkyries the other night, and at the start when they had drafted all their players, that was almost a team of Europeans. So it's really cool to see. But with your club, you spoke about it a little bit earlier. Y- It's sort of new and old at the same time. You have a lot of new, fresh faces, but you kept the core players of obviously yourself, Skylar, Gabby. You have Clark coming back as that vet, and then Jewel left, but you added the experience of Erica Wheeler, and then obviously you have Necker, who just was named in the All Star, and she's again, she's similar to you. I just feel like with her aura of how she goes about things and is so humble and works so hard and helps her teammates. But what is it like to play with such hardworking and experienced players?
it's really incredible, honestly. Like, I think sometimes you kind of have to pinch yourself and remind yourself who you're playing with. Like, I'm literally playing with a 10-time All-Star in NECA, I think a 6-time All-Star in Skylar, soon to be 7. Um, but yeah, just being able to play with players like that and the way that you're able to see them on a day-to-day basis and just the way that they go about their routines, their prep for games. Honestly, just everything to be able to see that behind the scenes because, yeah, they're great, but it doesn't come without hard work. And so just to be able to play, obviously, with Neca, being similar positions and seeing how she just navigates the day to day and, prepares her body for games. She just makes it look easy, but it's because all the work she does before that is the hard work. So yeah, I'm just so glad that they're on our team. Obviously, Skylar, she brings a whole different level of competitiveness, and just to be able to have her on the team kind of just lifts all of us up in a way where you just want to meet her where she's at. And so I think that's been really great to play with her the last couple of years. And then yeah, just like all our vets, obviously AC, Erica Wheeler as well, Gabby, obviously, I think she's definitely shown that she can play in this league, which wasn't something I never doubted and like we never doubted. But just to be able to see the season that she has had, and just kind of show people what she can do. It's not new, but I think it's just nice to see her getting recognized as well.
I couldn't agree more. I remember her playing at Chicago back in the day, and I was still
Yeah,
like, man, this chick is a baller. But like you said,
yeah,
it's
she is.
every athlete goes through hard work, and it is great to see your teammates recognized. And her story has been absolutely great this season. And I wanted to ask, is there anyone, maybe it might be Neca, I have a feeling it might be, but is there anyone in the league that you look up to and just like, what is it about their game that you really like?
Um, yeah, I think I'll definitely probably
Well,
speak on Necker again. I think, like, even watching the WNBA from Australia before I was in the league, Necker was someone who I kind of watched, and just kind of because we are both Nigerian, and so I kind of felt that connection already. So just to be able to kind of meet her, obviously playing against her, we didn't really know each other, but we still had that connection. And then to be able to have her on the team as well and play with her, I think that's been really special and obviously beneficial for my growth as well. And just how I want to go about the rest of my career. And obviously, like I said, with Skylar, meeting Skylar where she's at, obviously meeting Neca where she's at too. Like you want to play great for great players. And so she's just got a wealth of knowledge. She's very wise. She's kind. She's a leader, and she really advocates for us as well. So, yeah, shout out to Neka. She's great.
no, definitely shout out to Neca. She sounds like a beautiful teammate and leader and someone, you want to play with and play for. And I now it's almost like roles are reversed. So you now have a young 19-year-old, Dominique Malonga, who was the second overall pick and was drafted to the Storm, now looking up to you, right? And you've been in her shoes. Seriously, I know we said 6 seasons, but it doesn't even seem like that long ago.
I know.
You went into the draft really young, exactly like her, and I'm sure she entered the season with people expecting big things just like you did. How is she adjusted to playing in the WNBA?
Dom's adjusted really well. It's crazy how like similar our kind of pathways have been. Like obviously being drafted at 19, she came over the year she was drafted, but just to be able to kind of help her along the way and just knowing like we've had similar journeys has been pretty helpful to her, I think. Um, but she's also been a pro, like she's played in Europe and played for the national team, and so I think just every day she is able to kind of adjust and pick things up. And like I said, we don't really practice a lot, and so her development and um, just like learning kind of has to happen on the fly and in games. And I think that's definitely evident in games as well. Like Noli or the coaches or someone will tell her something, and she'll go from not doing it one game to doing it in the next. And so I think that's going to be really just helpful for Dom just to be able to adjust on the fly. And she's just a great human first and foremost. Like I think I just love being around great people. And so we get along really well. Like she's funny. She's yeah, she's just great. And so I think just being able to be around a group like us, I think has been really special for her, but she fits right in.
Mhm. And you mentioned sort of helping her through that, giving her advice, whether that's on the court, I'm sure, as well as off the court, you would be giving, big sister vibes. It's also, you've left your home country as well. And do you think it's helped your leadership as well with a younger version of you coming in?
Yeah, I think for sure. Yeah, I think obviously it's my sixth season, and so I'm a vet whether I like it or not. And sometimes you kind of try and shy away. You you kind of try and shy away from that, but I think um, a big focus for me was just to kind of lean into the leadership this year. And I'm obviously not going to be the loudest person in the room, in the locker room, but I think the way I lead is just hopefully like by example, but also just getting to know my teammates and um, knowing what they like, what they don't like off the court, but also in games as well. And so I think that helps me just be able to understand them as a player and a person. And so I'm all for like a one-on-one conversation and just I love asking questions and getting to know people. So just leaning into leadership in different ways. But yeah, like you know me, I'm not gonna yell or be loud or scream or anything.
I think that's so great to hear, though, for younger girls coming up to understand that everyone is super different in just the way that they are, their characteristics, their personalities, and really important. I think it's great that you just shined a light on that you can lead, but it doesn't have to look the same as the way I do it. Doesn't have to look the same as, the person to your left. And, for any, I guess, young boys or girls playing, or maybe you're just entered your senior career, is you can always keep building that leadership. Like you said, it's something you want to improve on, but you don't have to do it like the person next to you. You don't have to be the loudest. There's other avenues. And I think that's really important what you said, Ez, and really great for the younger generation to hear.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's great having like different leadership styles in a team as well. So like I love the way you lead. Like sometimes I wish I could get like hype and excited and just like loud like you. I'm like, wow, like Beck, she just gets so hype. But that's just not me, but I love it, you know? Like it just feeds people in different ways as well.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Is there'll be someone on a team who will definitely like what you bring and need you and your energy. And then similar to others. And that's why it is a team sport. I don't think there's just one leader. Everyone can be a leader in a different way. And let's talk about your game for a minute as well. You were obviously such a great defender. You're known for that. Obviously, your shot blocking ability, ridiculous. Hate being a guard going up against you. 8 times out of 10, it's, out in the stands. And then you're just so athletic, and, your offensive skill has just really grown, and it's been so great to see. And you were in the all defensive second team in 2022 and 23. And then you made the all defensive first team for your first time last season in 2024. And obviously we spoke about your shots, but you ranked third in the league per game, just behind your fellow Aussie Lan, and obviously reigning MVP Asia Wilson. So there's something in the water. I said to Lan, you guys are just making it hard for everyone to get up a shot. You were also second in franchise history for total box, which that's crazy as well in itself. But obviously stating things you've already achieved, and like you're a vet, but you're also still so young. What are some of your individual goals for this season?
Um, this season obviously just continue to improve and kind of be steady for the team defensively. And so just yeah, being able to be the defensive anchor. Um, I think offensively just being aggressive. I think like Pokey, our assistant coach, he always says an aggressive Ezi is a dominant Ezi, and so I think that that's something that sticks with me. Obviously, it kind of just creates for my team on the floor as well. But honestly, ultimately, just to be able to compete and just win a championship, I think that's something that I just want to obviously bring to Seattle and just be able to help. bring to, some of the players on the team that haven't won a championship as well. And so whatever that takes individually to get there, that's something that I'm hoping to do, but just be there in the best way I can for my team, compete, show up, and be the best player I can be.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. And also, just a couple of weeks ago, you played fellow Aussie and friend Lan. And how nice just is it to catch up and see your fellow Aussies? When you go to Washington, you see Jado, Chicago, Bec or I can name a list now. It's so great. But when it's
I know,
such a
yeah.
busy schedule, how just great is it to see just a friendly, familiar face that almost, I guess, might feel a bit like home?
Yeah, it's really nice. Like I love checking the schedule and seeing who we play next, and seeing if there's an Australian player on the team. And no matter how like close we are, like I always try and make time to catch up. Um, just with Australian players, like you said, it's just nice and a little bit of home. Just I guess we just understand, and it's also nice to hear another Australian accent. But I've been really lucky just to be able to play with an Australian every year I've been in the WNBA, excluding this year. Like this is my first year not playing with an Australian, so I'm missing that a little bit. But um, yeah, it's just nice to catch up, whether it's a coffee, whether it's dinner, um, and we see them like 3, 4 times a year. So it's just nice to kind of check that off, see how everyone's
Yeah.
going, check in, and yeah, just to be able to stay in touch is really important.
And it's great when you guys play, especially it was Storm versus Lynx not that long ago. And it was great seeing the two Aussie bigs, you know, battle it out. And like what a showdown of a game that was. Two absolutely amazing teams. And you stopped their undefeated run. How good did that feel? And was Coach Quinn happy with the team's performance after that one?
Yeah, she was happy. I think we kind of went into it knowing it was going to be a tough game. And knowing like we can compete with Minnesota. I think they won 3 out of the 4 games last year, and so it was kind of like just kind of getting our lick back and kind of being able to win at home as well was really important for us. But they're a great team, and so credit to them. And whenever we come up against them, it's always a great game. But the thing about streaks is they're going to end, and so it was just kind of nice to be able to end their streak and just do it at home, but obviously just put together a complete game for us. I think we definitely needed that as
Mm-hmm.
a team and just needed to kind of show and showcase that that's what Storm basketball is. But yeah, it was just obviously nice to get the win against Minnesota as well.
And I've been speaking about it a bit lately on my other episodes, but just how many eyes are on the women's game, let alone the WNBA. It's absolutely great. What excites you the most about this? Because watching it from the TV as well, like stadiums are packed now.
Yeah, packs. And I think that's also what makes it so tough to play in some cities. So like Golden State, New York, Phoenix as well, and even teams coming to Seattle. I think just being able to have the fan base as your sixth player sometimes is so
Hmm.
important. And so to see it like in the stadiums, but also to see it like in the media and like just the numbers and people watching, I think it's really exciting. And for me, it's also exciting to see how it extends to Europe and Australia as well. So I definitely felt the rise in the game this past European season, and obviously just seeing how the WNBL is growing and seeing the players going to the WNBL, and seeing the Australian players just compete internationally as well is really exciting for me. And I think like there's no time like the present. And so just to be able to have those leagues kind of jump on that wave and kind of ride that is really important. So yeah, always gonna just want to help us, the Australian game grow as well. And so I think the WNBL is doing a great job. So it's exciting to see where it'll be in the next few years.
And what I also love about the reason, like more eyes, on the game, we're getting to know the players more, like off the court. And one thing I love about the game is that basketball, it's about the culture, it's about the music, it's about the fashion. Fashion is huge. So I love the game day fits and the tunnel arrivals, like it's where it's at. Obviously, I feel like it's been on another elevated level this season. Do you like dressing up and making a statement on game days, or is it something that you find like more stressful than fun on the actual game day? Because like people, if you don't know, Ezi's fashion is 12 out of 10. So like you must tune in
Thanks.
to what she's like wearing.
Thank you. It's a bit of both. I think if I'm like organized and like plan and I'm excited about an outfit, then it's like less stressful. But I think this year it's been more stressful than not because I'm just not very organized. So I think the second half of the season might be a bit better just because I've kind of like planned some outfits, but away games, like sometimes like sweats is just the easiest option. But
Hmm.
when for home games, especially being on the same team as like Skylar and Necker, who are like fashion icons, so home games are fun because you can kind of just like dress up and like show your personality in your outfit as well, and kind of just try something different. Like I think that's what I like to like. If it's a flop, it's a flop, but at least you kind of tried it. But um, I don't know. I just like
Exactly.
trying on different outfits, like dressing up. Obviously, we're in like shorts and singlets for a majority of our lives, and so just to be able to put on an outfit, and kind of express yourself in that way is it's really fun. But yeah, it's a bit of both. Like it has its perks and it also doesn't. But I'm a fan for
And
half the season.
and I was Yeah, and I will say that am also a big fan of Skylar Diggins' outfits. She
Yeah.
is a definite slay. Love watching her. What's
Yeah.
been one of your favorite outfits for yourself this season so far?
Hmm.
You're
Let
like,
me
there's
think.
too many. I look too
No,
good.
I'm thinking that there's not that many. That was what I was thinking. I'm trying to think. I think I wore like a kind of like leopard print jumpsuit the other week that
Nice.
isn't really me, but I that was also so long story short, I was about to wear sweats to the game because I didn't have anything to wear, and Nika actually gave that to me in training camp because it came to her and it was like way too long. And so I went into my closet, picked it out, and I was like, this actually fits really well. And so I threw it on, and Nika really saved me that day. Because I was literally about to wear some Nike sweats to a home game, which would have been fine, but it worked out. And then like when I tell you my memory's so bad, I don't even remember what I've worn. But I have a
Yesterday.
few, yeah. But I have a few that I'm excited to wear, so hopefully I'll be able to say that in
Okay,
the future
we
what
all
some of
need
my
to stay
favorites have been.
tuned then, people. Make sure we stay tuned because we need to see what Ez wears for the Game Drive arrivals for the second part of the season. But Ez, I just wanted to say thank you so much for making the time to chat with me. We
Yeah, of
love
course.
watching you from back home, and we wish you and the Seattle Storm the best of luck. But keep being you, keep shining, and please never change because beautiful human being.
Thanks, Beck. Thanks for having me. It's so good to speak to you and see you.
I know, right back at you. So good to see you. But for the rest of you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. But make sure you tune in next week as we chat all things basketball around the globe. It's a Cole Well.